Our top story tonight is from the high-powered summit in Beijing that has launched an aggressive assault on the global dominance of the US dollar. Leaders of Russia and China have solidified a historic bilateral trade mechanism designed to bypass Western financial systems entirely. Now, this aggressive economic pivot is sending shockwaves through Washington and reshaping traditional alliance networks. Now, Xi Jinping and Donald Trump walked into Beijing's Great Hall of the People. Red carpets were rolled out, military bands played, cameras locked on every handshake. But behind the spectacle, China and Russia have been quietly pushing a move that could shake the dollar's global dominance. The images are loaded with symbolism. Xi Jinping stands waiting beneath giant red and gold state emblems. Vladimir Putin steps forward. The handshake is firm. And then comes the message. China and Russia are expanding bilateral trade further. And this time, the US dollar is being pushed further out of the picture. At their latest summit in Beijing, Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin signed a fresh package of cooperation agreements covering trade, technology, logistics and energy. The two leaders declared that their partnership had entered a new stage. The key development is financial. Moscow and Beijing are practically all bilateral trade in their own national currencies. Predominantly, remember, the Chinese yuan and the Russian ruble. Essentially, no transactions in the US dollar in the Russia-China trade. And here the timing matters. Remember, the yuan is currently in its strongest position against the ruble in more than 3 years. And now, the Russian ruble is also soaring. It has increased 12% against the dollar since the 1st of April. This comes at a time when bilateral trade between China and Russia has crossed nearly $240 billion. Now, the US dollar is also on a 6-week high, though today it has marginally dipped. After Russia's attack on Ukraine in 2022, Western powers cut Moscow off from major parts of the global financial system, including the SWIFT payment network. In response, Russia turned to China and other non-Western partners to develop parallel systems that would allow trade to continue without using the dollar-dominated infrastructure. Now, Putin and Xi are moving closer to form an alliance to challenge the dollar-based global system. Remember, this is not just economics, it is geopolitical signaling. In Beijing, Xi and Putin repeatedly spoke about creating a multipolar world order. In fact, both leaders attacked what they called Western dominance as well and hegemonic policies. Listen in.
开展更高质量国际协作。
Engaging in higher quality international cooperation, reforming and improving global governance. The world today is far from peaceful. Unilateralism and hegemony pose grave dangers, and the world faces the risk of regressing to the law of the jungle.
Most important is that Russia and China are committed to an independent and sovereign foreign policy, are working together in close strategic cooperation and playing an important stabilizing role on the global stage. We are working together for peace and global prosperity.
Beyond Beijing, now the attention has shifted to BRICS as well. Remember, the grouping originally included Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. It has now expanded dramatically. New members include Egypt, Iran, the UAE, Ethiopia and Indonesia. Together, BRICS now presents roughly over 40% of the world's population and around 35% of the global GDP, measured by purchasing power parity. Its share in global energy production and commodity trade has been massive. Beijing and Moscow have been pushing for a BRICS currency. But remember, there is one big obstacle to any BRICS currency push, and that is India. New Delhi has made it clear that a common BRICS currency is not currently on its agenda. In fact, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has already stated that no decision has been taken to create a currency to rival the US dollar. Now, while Putin and Xi are working together toward de-dollarization, the US dollar is the undisputed anchor of the global financial system even today. Its dominance is a self-reinforcing cycle of trust, of safety, and network effects, making up the vast majority of central bank vaults and daily currency trading globally. About 60% of global forex reserves are in US dollars. Around 60% of cross-border loans and deposits are dollar-based. And most global oil trade is priced in dollars. Yet, the pressure has been building. Russia and China are now openly building parallel systems outside the Western financial architecture, and Washington is watching very closely. It is also making rapid moves. An Indian delegation is expected in the United States soon. The US Secretary of State Marco Rubio is expected to visit India as well. Remember, as Washington intensifies its outreach toward New Delhi and the shifting global alignments. In Beijing, the smiles were diplomatic, but the signal was strategic. A slow financial power battle is now underway.